Open Topic Talk. This is the Shooting the Shit series. Uh, um, and I'm with my co host in Clearwater, Florida, Mr. Ronnie S.
Clearwater, Florida.
Yes, originally from Long Island, but now in Clearwater, Florida, where he's not having a blizzard. I'm the one with the blizzard.
It's a little cold here though. I got my hoodie on.
You got the hoodie on.
Yeah, you see that? I don't
Yeah,
normally wear a hoodie.
that.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. We're having a little bit of a cold front coming through.
That's that doesn't surprise me, considering that there was snow in the Florida Panhandle this year.
Yeah, I don't think not right now, but earlier this year there was, right?
Yeah, earlier this winter, sure.
But not this time. I don't think there's snow at this moment. Like so they're
No.
calling this the blizzard of 26, right?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? It's the end of February, and we're getting the blizzard.
That's how it is over there. They fuck with you, right?
It's like
The,
it's
the,
almost March.
it's like the groundhog comes and it sees its shadow or whatever.
You know, the weather's been very mild, and it was 45 degrees yesterday. Everybody's saying early spring, and
They
then all of a
always
sudden,
they always fucking say that. I remember
early
that when
spring,
I lived there. It's
and
just
then all of a sudden, and all
it's
of
a
a sudden,
hoax. It's a fucking it's you know what,
yeah.
James? That's why I'm so glad I live in Florida. I don't have to deal with that fucking shit anymore. It's too much.
Well, I'm sure you spent many a days chopping ice off your windshield
Yeah, man, it's just annoying.
and digging your car out, and
You go out in the morning, your car is the windshield is covered in ice. You know,
right. And the worst part is you got to be at work that
at,
morning.
at 9 o'clock, and the boss doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck. He has no compassion because he's there at like 7 o'clock. These fucking people.
So these people are probably have indoor garages where they live.
No, not necessarily. They're just like workaholics. That's how business people are.
So they're up super
They're
early with
they're up at like 6 in the morning, shoveling their fucking car out, and it's
yeah,
tax season. You gotta be at the office at fucking 8 o'clock or whatever.
yeah, which means they have no nightlife. They have no
No,
nightlife at
no,
all.
no, nothing. No. They're schleps, right? Like they said in the movie Goodfellas, they're a working stiff. The people who get up and take the bus to work every morning, they're they got no souls, right? Oh,
There's people that
what did he say in the movie? He said, they're dead. They're dead. They're
yeah.
But I mean, it's not true
Well,
because you have to make a living. You have to
I
make a
mean,
living.
there are people who actually take the train
That's what he was
into
saying. They take the train. That's what
there
he
are
was
there
saying. The people who get up every morning and take the subway to work every day, they're dead. They're dead.
yeah, they're
But
like
that's but he was saying that because they don't live the mob life. That's what he was saying. Which it's not true.
they move across the Hudson River to save money on rent and mortgage. They live in New Jersey.
To
They
Jersey.
take the bus or train into Manhattan to work, and they go back again, and they actually really don't have much quality time during the week. But by the time they
They
get
probably hate their wife. They hate their kids.
yeah, they come home. They by the time they finish
They
with
can't be
dinner,
bothered. They can't be bothered.
yeah, they by the time they finish with dinner, they
Hopefully,
don't,
their wife cooks them a nice meal. If not, you know,
but they really don't have that much time before they have to go to bed.
but this is like what we were talking about, right? At least if the man is doing that, he has to come home and have a nice cooked meal, right?
Yeah, but in a lot of cases in this part of the country, because of the cost of living,
It's so expensive now.
the wife is working.
The wife is
Oh,
fucking working. What is she doing? What does she work?
I have no idea, but
Fucking JC Penney.
it's a two income family. I need a prop.
It didn't used to be like that when your parents were raising you. I'm sure it wasn't like that, right?
Right. Well, it was a different time because the cost of living was much different. It was
So what the fuck happened? Why did it get so expensive?
I had to get the shillelagh.
Well, you're gonna hit the camera.
Oh me, me gold. Where's me gold? Me gold. The blackthorn.
So James, what do you think? What do you think changed between the 1950s and the 1970s?
Well, first of all, the economy and the job market was a lot better. The cost of living was much lower.
Or why did it change?
Um, the mindset of women were much different back then.
That's correct.
Okay,
No, but I'm saying between the 1950s and the 1970s, not today. Just those 20 years there.
the women there was no women's lib back then. There was
There
no
was
there was no feminist movement.
the feminists went crazy in the 1960s, right?
Yeah, they made the homemaker feel guilty for being a homemaker. They embarrassed.
Especially if he was white.
Right, they embarrassed the homemaker, the feminist movement.
They made him into a Homer Simpson, a schlep, an idiot, right?
Yeah, and they're like, the man is supposed to be the provider. He's supposed to. No, he's not supposed to do anything but pay taxes and die. Man, the man should not be
No,
obligated.
he's supposed to provide. That's true. He's that's what the man's job traditionally is. But the feminists came along and they undermined the man. They wanted to get the jobs, right? They wanted to have all the power, right? And even the women they go into politics, right?
Well, they don't want
They want to become politicians.
the,
Women were never politicians before, right?
no, the feminist woman will not will not be supportive of a man who's a provider. They will
No,
not give him anything, nothing, no comfort, no nothing.
but the nice traditional women, they support their husbands, right?
Yeah, yeah. When the husband came home, they gave him a big hug and a kiss and maybe a back
They would
rub. Hey, honey, how
slap
was your
around a
day?
little bit. Back in the day, they used to even do that. Back in like the 20s or the 1910s, the husband would smack the wives around, and they didn't say shit about it. I mean, this is hard truth, but it is true,
That's
James.
why
Right?
I. That's why
Right? Right? Right, James.
That's
This is
why
true.
I stopped wearing the. I stopped putting on the white tank top because women call it a
Call it
white beater.
a wife, yeah. But no,
They call it.
this is actually not fiction. This is true. And women back then, they would take it. They would raise the kids, and they would stay quiet.
Well, when you came home from work, back then,
If you didn't have the dinner out nicely prepared with a beer on the side or a nice glass of wine, and the kids were settled nicely, it was a problem, right?
well, you smelled you smelled dinner coming through the door. You knew the dinner was waiting for you, and and like you said, there could be a cold beer there waiting for you too. And the kids have done their homework because they had discipline. You had discipline back then.
Because the dad doesn't want to hear about the homework. The homework's got to be done.
Yeah, just do the friggin' homework, and then It was you had to be home by a certain time for dinner. The kids had to be home for dinner.
Everybody eats the dinner together.
Right. And the kids had a
And
bedtime curfew.
there's no cell phones. You don't look at a fucking phone when you're sitting at the dinner table.
The kids had a curfew for bedtime too.
Now, James, we're living in the past, right? That's what they'll say.
Yeah, we're talking about the past right now. Sure.
But you know what? Why can't we do that today? Now, I'm not saying I want to slap my wife around, right? I am a nonviolent man.
Well, the reason why we don't have it today is because
We can't.
the PC neoliberals of the Democrat Party have embraced the feminist movement. They kowtowed to them, and they gave them their way.
Yeah, but we don't. But we have moved on, and we recognize it's not right for a man to hit a woman, right? I was brought up the way that men never put their hand on a woman. I was taught that from a very young age.
Well, I don't like bullies. I would never bully. I would never hurt a female. If she hit me with the intent of injuring me, like something beyond a love tap, that's a different story. But
Would you hit her back?
if she hit me, if she cold cocked me, like sucker punched me, oh yeah, I know, I throw her out.
No,
I call
I was always taught never put your hand on a woman, and I never have. In my
I
whole
call
life, I've never put my hand on a
I'll
woman.
have her arrested for assault and battery.
But would you hit her yourself?
No, I grab her by the hand that she whacked me with. I'll grab her by the arm and I'll squeeze it without hitting her. I'll squeeze it, and when I squeeze it, she'll
Now, I've heard stories from my grandparents, from my Irish grandparents, um, back in the Bronx, that the men back in those days were very abusive, very very abusive to their wives. They hit them. They actually hit them with more than their hands. They would hit them with objects. They
well,
were
because they because
they were very mean.
because they drank.
Yeah, they drank a lot. They all were involved in some way with the bar. They were either a bartender or they worked at the bar, or because there was always a bar. They said on every street there was a bar in the Bronx.
Yeah, they want to be close to the bar. They had to be close to the bar.
And you know what? Women were not allowed in the bar back in those days. Did you know that?
Well, that was the
It was a men's only place. So,
yeah,
so
but it was degrading for a decent woman to be
yeah,
hanging.
she wouldn't want to be seen there. Maybe only the prostitutes would go. That was it. So
Yeah, and
my grandma told me when she wanted to go get my grandfather out of the bar, she had to go around the back and tell the bar guy, the bar owner, whoever, to she would say his name, and then he would have to go get him from the back. She wasn't allowed to go in the front door because she was a woman. This was back in like the 1950s.
right.
So that's some real old school shit, man.
Hey, look who it is. Da, 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 ba, 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 ba. Bart Robinson.
Robin, you gotta sing a song. Here's to you,
Here's
Mr.
to-
Robinson.
Hold on, I gotta get my kazoo. Hold on.
Jesus loves you more than you will know. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Cheers to you, Bart. Cheers to you, Mr. Robinson.
Hold on.
Now, Bart, you're getting some heavy snow over there, Bart, huh? Hey, hey, hey. Here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, Bart is here.
Bart, this is gonna be your intro every fucking time.
Hold on, let me see. What did he say? Anything else?
Bart from New Jersey, right?
He's south. What the heck is he? Yeah, southwestern New Jersey. He's near Philadelphia.
How far is he from Lancaster?
Well, Lancaster's not far from Philadelphia.
My aunt just bought a house in Lancaster. She's moving out of Long Island to Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
You know what that is? That's by Amish country.
I know. That's interesting.
She's got a lot of farms. She's going to be going to a lot of farmers markets.
She's in like retirement age, so I think she's trying to settle down in a quiet area. You know?
All right, Bart says we're supposed to get. Well, that's quiet. Five. What do you say? The fuck is this? 12 to 15 inches. We're supposed to get 12 to 18 inches. 12 to 15 inches. So you guys are getting a blizzard also, right, Bart?
Bart Robinson.
He says you guys are silly.
You're silly, Bart. You're silly.
We're silly. Yeah, I mean, you know who else gets silly?
Now you remember Mick didn't like that we were singing a Bart. He didn't like that idea.
Well, he thinks everything is gay.
Yeah. Bart's a friend of the show.
I got the show early, Bart. I got the Blackthorns.
So Bart Robinson, Jesus loves you more than you would know.
You know who else is silly? Eric Fraunfelter gets silly too.
Yeah, but he never joins. He only joins the booze house.
Because he's a booze. No, you know what it is? He's got a girlfriend now, and they've been hitting it off. They've been hitting it off pretty good.
So is he gonna do the John and Lily thing and stop hanging out?
I hope to God he doesn't. Oh my! You know, John and Lily's girlfriend had a kid, so he moved in with a single mother.
That's all right. Those are the hottest ones.
No, that means that the kid is the king in her eyes.
But I'll tell you, James, those are the hottest ones.
60 miles. Wait, his mother, Bart Robinson says his mother was born in Lancaster. He's 60 miles from Lancaster. 60 miles?
Oh.
Really?
So Lancaster is like the Amish country, right? It's close to it.
Yeah, isn't that where Harrisburg is? Is that the name of the county? Lancaster County.
There's a Lancaster County, and then there's a Lancaster City inside the county.
Right. And there's Reading or Reading. They call it Reading, Pennsylvania.
Is it Reading? Like the Reading
Well,
Railroad?
it's spelled like Reading. Yeah.
How do you say it's Reading? You say Reading?
They call it Reading, but I say Reading because
why would they pronounce it like that?
Why do they mispronounce any English word for that matter?
You're talking about the Amish people?
The Amish, the Amish are, they are what do you call a fanatical zealot? They're Germans. They're Germans, but they're zealots. They're
like in the Bible.
They're a Protestant denomination that are fanatical.
Simon Peter was a zealot. You know
that? Well, they could have been because there was paganism back then.
Simon Peter was a zealot. A zealot just means he was very
fanatical.
Fanatical about the faith, which means he was a fanatic Jew. He was a fanatical Jew.
Yeah, it means they were fucking nuts. That's what
No,
it
no,
means.
but because obviously before Christ came, there was only Jewish. So Simon Peter was a
Yeah,
fanatical Jew,
zoo.
fanatical.
Yeah, they should belong in the zoo.
Right, right.
He met Eric and his buddies in person when they came
Yeah, I
down here to
remember that.
visit.
I remember. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah. I saw the picture. It was nice.
That is Amish country. Yes, yes.
So, all right. So my aunt, let me tell you, she grew up her whole life on Long Island. She's never owned a home. She has a husband. Her first husband didn't work out. He was a real jerk. He was from Brooklyn, an Italian guy from Brooklyn.
Oh, forget it.
They had three daughters together, and he was a serial cheater. He could not settle down. He treated her like shit. He hit her. He was
Yeah, but why
abusive.
why did she have 3 kids with a guy like that?
I don't know. Because
Anyway,
that's what they did back in the
I
day,
want to
right?
say about York. Bart mentioned York, Pennsylvania. York, Pennsylvania is a great place because it is the home of the York Barbell Company and Bob Hoffman, who was the United States Olympic weightlifting coach back in the 1940s, and the weightlifting museum and the Hall of Fame museum is there, and York Barbell. So yeah, York is a special place when it comes to strength training athletes, and it is the place that actually made Joe Weider what he was. It trained a young Joe Weider, and when Joe Weider moved to Southern California, he denied any connection with Bob Hoffman, and they were in business together because Bob Hoffman was his mentor. So you see what happens when somebody becomes successful and wealthy, they quickly forget the people that paved the way for them and the people who gave him the big breaks in life. They deny affiliation because he wanted to make it look like I'm self-made. I'm self-made. Anyway, I digress.
So can I continue with what I was saying about my aunt?
Yes.
That okay? So she grew up on Long Island. She met a guy from Brooklyn. He used to hit her. They had three kids together, and she finally left him. He moved to Florida. She stayed on Long Island, and then she met this other guy who moved from Florida to Long Island, but he originally grew up in Florida. I mean, no, he originally grew up on Long Island. He grew up on Long Island. He moved to Tampa,
Uh-huh.
and then he moved back to Long Island. She met him around the year 2000. He took guardianship of the three daughters that she had. He took them under his wing as if they were his own. He was
Oh.
a great man, a very good man. He came from a previous marriage where he was already divorced, where his wife swindled him out of everything, and he had two daughters with her, where he wasn't able to even see his daughters. He wasn't even able to see them at all. He couldn't even meet them. So he came into my aunt's life. He took her three daughters under his guardianship and treated them like angels, right? Like they can go to him for anything. He was a very good man. He is a good man, and so they have lived on Long Island for like 20 years together, renting. They've never bought a house together yet. They've been renting the same house for like 20 years. So finally, they decided to move off the island. They bought a house in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, just recently, and they're very excited about it. And I can't wait to go visit. It sounds like a great thing.
I've been there several times. There's a lot of buffets. And there's a lot of outlet centers. You know, if your wife likes shopping in outlets and looking for bargains and unique items, then she'll love it there. You know, it's a nice area. There's a lot of farms, rolling hills, a lot of cornfields, a lot of
They seem to like it. I mean, my aunt has gone there on like
yeah.
taking vacations a bunch of times over
I
there
had
to the mountains around there. So what are the mountains that are there? What are they called?
oh, you're talking about in the mountains.
The Adirondacks?
No, the what do you call it? The Poconos.
The Poconos. That's it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Poconos and the
Yep.
unless you're talking
No,
about
it's the Poconos. The Poconos.
yeah, unless you're talking about Pittsburgh, that's the Allegheny Mountains. But yeah, yeah,
No,
Poconos.
they go to the Poconos a lot. So
Yeah,
how
the
far is the
Poconos.
Poconos from Lancaster?
Well, it's north of Lancaster. If you keep traveling north, you're going to hit the Poconos. You know, I don't know about distance, but because Lancaster is in farmland, a lot of flat, rolling hills and flat land and a lot of farms. It's real pretty though. You can see farms from a distance, you know, like way off. And
It's amazing. I can't picture my aunt living in like a farm area. You know, it's
she might get bored though.
Long Island's not like that.
She
No,
might
no,
get
she loves it because she picked it for. I mean, she bought a house for a reason. That's what they want. So they
yeah.
want.
So you know, there's a lot of
I'm
like
sure there's got to be a lot of snow too.
a lot of buffets with farm fresh food. There's a lot like I
They probably get a lot of snow over there, right?
yeah, yeah.
More than Long Island would get, I would think.
Well, if she doesn't mind a rural farm land, she doesn't mind that. You know, I mean, I'm sure the homes are a bargain there. What's this? I can't tell you. What does it say again? Fucking thing. Hold on. The actual. I can't read this fucking thing.
Oh, you said the downtown's not that nice anymore.
It's on my phone.
No, that's not good.
But hold on. I'm better off holding this fucking thing.
I can read it if you want, James. I can see it.
No, because when I tapped it, it turns blue.
It
You
says
know,
the actual downtown
motherfucker.
Lancaster is not very nice anymore. The outskirts are beautiful.
The outskirts are beautiful. Yes. Okay. The actual downtown Lancaster is not very nice anymore. Okay.
So what happened to the downtown, Bart? Elaborate. Do they got immigration problems or what is it? Is there a bunch of Muslims moving in?
Now, a lot of people would consider that racist.
What's going on with?
You know, you can't pigeonhole a group of people, but sometimes.
What are you being like the AI, James? I thought we figured this out yesterday.
Well, I pigeonholed modern day women and feminists. I pigeonhole them.
We cannot fall prey to the AI PC.
But I don't pigeonhole. I think the world of Mondani, the new mayor of New York. He's cleaning. He's kicking that.
He's a Muslim though. We don't like the Muslims.
But he's kicking. Yeah, but he's cleaning up. He's kicking ass over there in New York. He's doing things like this. Quick.
He's a Muslim.
I don't care. I don't care if he's Klingon. He's doing a great job.
It's not good.
Trump's turned Turkey on Iran. No, I tell you one thing, buddy, from Twitch. Iran has a lot of help if Trump decides to get rough with Iran. Iran's got a lot of powerful help.
Now, okay, so let me ask you this.
You know, man. The United States is not number one.
There's a lot of talk about the U.S. going to war with Iran all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, guess what?
So let me just ask one question.
China and North Korea is ready to kick ass, so Trump better watch out.
Let me ask one question. I have not heard any reason really why is the U.S. going to go to war with Iran. What's the reasoning?
You know what I think? Like it always is.
I haven't heard any reason for it.
It's the military-industrial complex. That's
I
what
know that's what's behind the scenes. It's always behind, but what's the actual reason that they're giving, like official reason?
no. You know what it is? Because
Because of
because
Israel?
Netanyahu
Yeah.
is whining and playing a big violin and nagging and say, "Oh, Iran is threatening Israel. Iran is
But
threatening
what's
Israel."
the official U.S. reason?
There is no reason except for the fact that they kowtow to Israel all the time. They suck. They suck
I mean,
Israel's
I
bad.
know this is true, but there's got to be some kind of reason that they're going to tell us.
There's no logical reason because the people of Iran are
Or they're
on the
pro-
brink. They're on the brink of a revolution against the Ayatollahs.
So that's the reason for the war.
No. Trump doesn't. No, the United States doesn't like the Ayatollahs. So the people want. Uh, 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 um, they want an Iran that's not a dictator of the Ayatollah.
I remember 2003. It was Saddam had weapons of mass destruction.
He
Right?
never had that.
So, but that was the reason, though. That was the reason for the war. So, if the U.S. is going to go into a war in Iran, what is the reason that
I don't know, but G.W. Bush was full of shit,
Of
and
course he
so was Dick
but
Cheney.
okay, so the reason might have been a lie, but at least they had a lie. At least they said something. At least they had a reason that was a lie. What do we have now? What is it? Okay, at least George W. Bush made up at least a lie. We at least need something.
I don't know what the fuck. I know Israel's behind everything. The Zionists are behind everything that's bad in the world. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so it says Israel told Trump to do it, or he will release the pedo files, the pedo pics.
So the pedophiles already exist. I don't see the
Yeah.
mainstream media. I don't
haven't
see anybody showing the pedo evidence.
Yeah. So then Bart Robbins from New Jersey says, "Hold on, put it back. Put it back there."
Can't read this
I
fucking
don't
thing.
really know, but it's not as nice as when I was a kid. Kind of trashy. I think he's talking about Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's a shame, Bart Robinson. That's a shame. And then he says, "But I mean in the actual city. The actual city." Okay. Thank you for your input. When's the fucking price of groceries gonna get better?
It hasn't.
It's not going to. Because
It hasn't.
the price never goes down, it only goes up.
You know what it is, Bart? It's price gouging by the right wing capitalist system.
Yes.
They're sucking up to it's big agra. It's the corporate
It's Walmart. You got Walmart.
evil.
And what
Yeah,
else?
evil corporate greed.
Evil Knievel.
You know that girl. That was such a great video. She revealed how wonderful the employers are in Europe compared to the United States.
Yes. That James, can we speak about this? James,
I'm here.
can we speak about this? The video you sent me?
Yeah.
It was very interesting, actually. What she was talking about the health insurance in Germany and the job market.
The paid vacation.
When she lost me, she put this big text on the video that I paused the video and I read it because I wanted to see what it said. And she said like, I'm a white cisgender girl, blah blah blah. So cis is supposed to mean that like she's straight, right? I don't know why she has to use that word. It's very annoying when people use that word, right?
Why do people have to identify themselves as being a straight biological female?
And cis, why do you say cis? Why isn't it just straight? Why can't you just say you're a straight person?
I'm a straight girl. Well,
But
why
what
do
is
you have to? But why do you have to tell? Why do you have to tell the world you're straight? You're just
and then she was going on about so if it's so bad for me, imagine if I was like a black blah blah blah, you know. And I couldn't even take it anymore, so I turned the video off.
so
So
she's
the video you sent me, it
yeah.
has very good points, very very good points, and I won't disagree with you that
So
they have.
she started getting PC on it. She started getting PC.
I don't like that. I can't take that.
She
And
started getting.
what is this cis shit? What the fuck
So
is
in other words, you know what it is? These are lily white honky people
these are
that
lily
that
white?
are
It's not
no,
men.
they,
It's not men. It's women. It's women.
no. They feel
Lily,
guilt. They
lily
would you
white,
let me talk?
lily
They feel.
white
You
women.
start to get like Damien and Paul Mantia. They want you to feel. They want everyone to
They are ashamed of their race,
they're ashamed of their race. They're ashamed of being Caucasian,
but
and
it's not
they're
the
ashamed,
men. It's not the
and
men.
they're ashamed of being straight, heterosexual, and
Yeah,
Caucasian.
yeah.
So they have to make excuses for that
But it's not the men. It's the women. For some
because the
reason, the
women,
women are so fucked up in the
you,
head.
you know what it is? Because women don't, their brains are not wired for logic and
Mhm.
science. Their brains are wired for emotion.
For
They
bullshit.
always go
They're
by
wired for bullshit.
right. They're always I'm telling you, I've been putting a lot of heavy duty videos on the fuck you Facebook group about
Well, somebody said this also. There's a famous person, I don't know who it was, that a communist person, I believe, who said women's minds are easily malleable. That you can, they're the best minds that you can get to change into being communists because they're so stupid.
no, I don't care what politics they believe in, but I do care. I do agree with you because um I've seen a girl like in a nightclub talking to my friend, and they were hitting it off. All of a sudden, the girls, no guys weren't talking to them, and they got jealous. They dragged the girl into the ladies' room, and before you know it, she walked away. She walked away from the guy. She said goodnight to him, but they were hitting it off. So what I'm saying is, girls are very impressionable and easy to influence, like you said, easy to influence and to get change their way of thinking. Um, peer pressure.
So that's why for many centuries
Yeah.
they were not to be seen in the public light because they're so stupid.
I knew a bartender that says she voted for Sarah Palin and John McCain because she thought Sarah Palin was cute. I says that's a reason for voting for her because she was cute
Why do you think JFK won?
because he's better looking than Richard Nixon.
Right, because of the women vote.
Right.
Same thing with Bill Clinton. Bill
Oh,
Clinton over Bob Dole in '96. It's because of the
oh.
women.
Now listen to this. Check this out, Ronnie. This guy from Twitch, Steve Trujillo, Caucasian Trujillo, Caucasian shame.
Who Trujillo was the last dictator of Cuba. Trujillo.
Really?
Yeah, it was Trujillo, right? Before Castro.
Well, no, that was Batista.
So Trujillo was Dominican Republic then. Dominican Republic.
It could have been. All right, so he says Caucasian shame is deserved, straight shame is deserved. So if you're
He's just
white,
being silly. He's just being silly.
yeah, he's probably being silly. He's trolling us. He's
But
trolling us.
okay, so James Trujillo was the last dictator of the Dominican Republic. Trujillo.
So yeah, well, you know what? Latin American
Has a
government,
history of dictatorships.
they have a history of corruption.
Of course.
I mean, you know,
Banana republics.
like the cops. The cops are very easy to pay off in those countries.
My wife is from Ecuador. She said her dad still lives in Ecuador. Um, he can drive around drunk, and he'll get pulled over, and they'll say, okay, you look drunk, and he just has to give him a pay him off and give him some money, and they let him go.
Hey, you look drunk. Okay. You're not so drunk anymore. Oh, you're fine.
They don't arrest him for that.
They greased their palm.
And they know each other. Like he knows the cops because it's like a neighborhood thing. So it's like it's good. It's like it's friendly.
We used to get when I worked in fish.
You don't know the cops here.
When I used to work in the fish market, we used to get our farm raised shrimp from Guayaquil, Ecuador. Guayaquil.
That's where she's from. That's where her family lives.
Guayaquil is very.
Guayaquil.
It's hot and tropical. It's in the southern. It's in
Yeah.
the southern Pacific Ocean coast of Ecuador.
Yeah, I've been there before.
It's almost by Peru. It's almost.
No, it's not that far. It's not that far south.
It's not even. But it's the seasons are the opposite in Guayaquil.
The seasons are the opposite of here.
Right. If it's winter here, it's summer in Guayaquil.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's hot. It's hot.
Because
Right now it's hot.
because the equator goes through Quito.
Right.
The equator and Quito's in the Andes Mountains. Quito is cool,
That's
Like-
true. Yes.
like autumn.
Yeah.
I say Quito, Bogota, Colombia is in it's elevated, so the weather is like
A very interesting country, Ecuador.
yeah. I was always good in geography.
What I will say, I do not recommend visiting it anymore. It's very, very dangerous, extremely dangerous.
Well, they all like to kidnap Americans, right?
It didn't used to be that way. It's only become that way the past 5 years since COVID. And it's a damn shame because it used to be a very nice country.
Because they don't understand that it's going to kill the tourist industry if these Latin American countries that are known to be beautiful and have resorts and everything, they're only shooting themselves in the foot because the Europeans, the white Europeans and Americans are not going to go on vacation there.
If it's too
They're
dangerous.
not. They're not.
No, but
They-
it's not totally their fault. There's a lot of it's a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Well, it's got to be somebody's fault.
Yes, the last president. There was a previous president. His name was Correa, Rafael Correa. He was actually a socialist. He was friendly with Obama, actually, and supposedly he had secret agreements with the drug cartels from Colombia and from Mexico, and he allowed them to come into the country clandestinely.
I like that word.
Yeah.
I like that word. Yeah. So you, Ronnie Clandestine. That's a good name. That's a nice name. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. But I heard my ex-wife told me that the cartels they gave a lot of jobs to the people like in Colombia.
That's in Colombia. That's a different country.
The coca leaf.
It's a different country, though.
They got a lot. They give a lot of jobs to people.
To the Indians. They give jobs to the Indians. They don't give jobs to the people in the cities. They give jobs to the people in the jungles.
Well, that's where
Because
the coca.
that's where it's cultivated.
That's where the coca is being grown and cultivated. Right.
But that's where the Indians live.
You're a very clandestine young man.
A lot of those Indians don't even speak Spanish.
No, they speak their native language. They're thousands of years old.
Right. So the people who live along the coasts, like in Colombia or in Ecuador or in Peru, they speak Spanish, right? That's That's the
You
language.
know,
But
fucking
but the,
Pizarro.
but the Indians have a problem with them. So the Indians in South America are a bit like the blacks in America. So where they always want their rights, blah blah blah, where the rights, civil rights and all this stuff. It goes
Yeah, because
back a long time.
but Pizarro fucked them over from Spain, the
But it
conquistador.
is what it is, and it's like you guys need to just stop because nobody wants to hear it.
Well, you're talking about 500 years in the future. I mean,
Yeah,
it's over. It's over.
it's over. It's enough is enough.
I mean, we know what the Spaniards did. I mean, that's part of history. We know what they did. But
Mhm.
now we're like 500 years into the future.
It is what it is, right? I mean, we have to move on.
There you're not going to change. You're not going to change Latin American countries and give them all back to the Indians.
And then you have Bolivia, who like 15 years ago they elected an indigenous president, right?
That's all right.
Well, how did it work out? It worked out terribly. He fucked up the whole country, and so it's like America. You had Obama, the first black president. How
Well,
did that? How did it work out? It didn't work
Bol-
out too well.
Bolivia, they wear those funny little
They
hats,
wear the hats.
and
Yeah.
and they drink the mate. You ever have yerba mate tea? It's actually good.
But what I'm saying is
Mate.
when the white culture is not being represented, when they're not in power, everything falls apart. Everything falls apart when the white people are not in control.
Well, the third.
And it's just the truth of the matter.
Well, all right. Let's take what you said. And what happened here? What the fuck? What is this shit?
You're showing the comments.
Oh, how did I do that? I don't want to do that. All right. I'll just lower it. All right. Let's take off from that comment. Third world countries are not run by Caucasians. If you notice,
Now, why are they third world to begin with?
but they've always been third world because that goes back like hundreds and thousands of years. They were always third. The third
Hold on. What is first world?
Europe,
No,
Japan,
no. See,
United States, Canada.
first world is the United States and Europe. Second world is Russia. That's what those meanings are.
I got news for you.
That no,
Japan is first world.
that no, but hold on though.
Technologically, it is.
I'm not sure about Japan,
It
but
is.
the reason why those labels were created, the first and the second world, it was primarily to differentiate the West versus the East, and the East being represented by Russia, the West being represented by the United States.
Well, I tell you, even China is higher
Of
than
course,
first
of,
world.
of course, of course, yeah.
I
But
mean,
that,
science,
but first and second,
science and
first,
technology, science
first
and
and
technology.
second world. The reason why those labels were made after the Second World War, that's why they were made for the U.S. and for Russia, and then so third world was anybody who was far behind, which was Africa, South America, India, Asia, pretty much most of Asia.
Right.
That was third world, and it still is, right?
Right.
Now the Philippines is a beautiful country, right?
Yeah, but that's third world.
It is, but it's still it's a very very Catholic country. It has a rich history of Catholicity, beginning with the Spanish, right? and continuing on, it's just a very, very nice. Anytime I meet anybody from the Philippines, they're very nice people. Very, very. Um, I would say very good mannered people.
That you're right about that. The crime. Listen, in a first world country, people will say thank you to someone that holds the door open for them. They won't steal. They won't mug anybody. They're
For the most part.
for the most part. Well, the politicians in the first world country will mug you in a different way. They're sneaky about it.
And so will the darker persuasion in the undesirable areas, right?
Well, look. All right, I'm glad you brought that up. Look at the mayors of all the U.S. cities that were of darker persuasion. The crime rate, the crime was out of control in those cities.
Yeah,
Third world thinking.
right.
Third world thinking.
And the mayors are probably white. A lot of
No,
times, they're white, but
no,
they're stupid honkies.
yeah, but
They're,
I'm not. No, I'm not referring. No, I'm not saying they were white. I'm saying they are of the darker persuasion.
the mayors, okay.
I'm talking about the cities that where they were soft on crime,
Uh huh.
like Chicago, Baltimore,
New York.
Philadelphia, New York. They were all because the people of the inner city, they only vote race. They don't vote. They don't say, "Hey, the
No,
best man."
it's not just that. They only vote for Democrats. But then what happens is eventually they kick the white Democrats out of power. They only want the black ones or the foreign ones, like the Muslims, to come in.
Yeah,
So
because
so
they
so so
don't have a.
so the lily whites, they get kicked out because
They don't
they're
trust.
too stupid.
They don't trust the lily white
Like the
honky Caucasian.
Cuomo's, like the stupid, like fucking Andrew Cuomo is a clown ass fucking idiot. What a pathetic.
Well, his campaign was a joke,
What a pathetic way for his political career to end.
and you
Like
know his brother is starting to act
this
off.
this guy got elected governor 3 times in a row, and he has gone out like a piece of shit.
Well, he did it to himself, though.
It's pathetic, man.
Yeah, but his brother Chris Cuomo has been acting unhinged lately. I've been watching his videos.
How so? So
Like
elaborate.
he's very much on the defensive. Like he's blowing his stack like very often like lately. Like anybody who debates him or disagrees with him or criticizes them, he's starting to lose it.
Hmm.
Not as bad as Trump, but
Wow.
he's starting to lose it. And I heard I saw a video of something that happened in Southern California where Sylvester Stallone's I don't know if he's still married to what's her name, Levin Maven, what the fuck, Jennifer, the model, Jennifer May.
I don't know.
Anyway, there's some girl with red hair who's a model,
Is she hot?
and she was a supermodel originally. Anyway, she went into a boutique and she was looking at very expensive items, and the manager of the boutique says, "Your money is not welcome. You're not welcome to shop here because we only cater to certain clientele, certain celebrities, and you're not one of them." So she she called Sylvester Stallone, who's the father of her children, and he came over and he said, "Guess what? I'm buying this boutique, and you're fired. You shouldn't. You
Really?
should not be treating people this way that are not bothering."
What was the original reason that they didn't want to?
They didn't say.
What do you think it was?
They just said she's not welcome there
What do you think it was?
because of Stallone.
Because she's white.
No, no, it was like a Beverly Hills. It was in a hoity-toity, Hollywood or Beverly Hills area. It was a very expensive.
Because she votes Republican, maybe.
Your guess is as good as mine. She was refused uh, as a customer, and she wasn't welcome. And that's it. She called Sly Stallone. He says, "I'm buying the boutique, and you're fired." To the
Okay.
store manager. So that was that. Trying
Sly
to think about. Yeah, it's his. I think he's still married. I think he broke up with her and he got back together with it. The mother of his daughters.
Good for him, right?
Yeah, yeah. He bought. Yeah, he did it out of spite. He bought the boutique. You're fired for treating a customer like that.
Donald
But
Trump. You're fired.
yeah, but she wasn't bothering anybody. She was just like browsing.
She was being a nice female.
Yeah, and she obviously had money to burn to spend there.
So James, going back to what we were originally talking about.
Yeah, about first worldism,
No, before that, way before that. Um, what do you
honky.
what do you think about like the old world ethnic, kind of like Irish ethnic neighborhoods, and then also there was the Italian, obviously,
Well, they maintained their own enclaves, their own neighborhood.
in New York, right? Everybody had their own thing, right? So my grandfather used to go to bars
Right.
where there was only men allowed. There was no women allowed in the bar.
No. Well, respectable woman would really.
So if my grandmother, so I guess my grandfather used to drink a lot, right? So my grandmother used to she used to say, okay, you have to come home now. But
Yeah.
she was not allowed to go in the front door. She had to go around the back. She went around the back, and I guess the guy had to come out, the bartender, and greet her through the back door, and she would say, "I'm George's wife. Can you get him out of there?" Sometimes he would come, sometimes he wouldn't come, and that's the life she lived, and she did it dignified in a dignified manner. And
Well, because they respected the man's sanctuary, the man cave, that was for men.
yeah,
Men had a right to their own place.
so they don't have that anymore, right?
Oh. No, no, they don't, because women want their asses kissed now. Hey guys, I gotta charge my phone and get to bed. Long day tomorrow. Be safe. All right, you too. And I hope I know you're gonna have to chop the ice and scrape your windshield and shovel, Bart, but don't hurt your lower back. Try to wear a brace, a back brace, so you don't pull your lower back out. All right, have a good night. That's all. Bart said good night. Yeah, so men had their sanctuary. Like, in other words, if a
Men
guy,
were men were men, and women were women, right?
like it,
Women looked pretty. They used to wear nice dresses back then, right? Not like these fucking bitches of today where they want to wear jeans and work boots, and these fucking lesbians look like shit.
yeah. Now that video about girls with a lot of tattoos, that I think that was true. I think that I
Yeah,
believe.
it's disgusting.
And what is this deal where they get their neck
Tatted,
tattooed?
tatted. I don't know. I don't know why guys do it. I don't know.
How do you, if a
I don't know
girl,
why anybody does it.
let's say a girl's invited to be
It's very unattractive, man. It really is.
what if the girl is invited to be in a wedding reception as part of the ceremony? She has to wear a dress.
I don't know.
She has to wear a formal dress.
Why,
That
why,
looks,
why do they do that to themselves?
but that looks horrible. Can you picture a girl all tattooed wearing a formal dress?
Why do they do that to themselves? Like that's the initial question. What is going on here in their minds
That's not beauty.
that they think that that's a good
No,
idea?
it's
Where,
low.
where is their father?
It's low class.
Where is
It,
their father?
maybe they come from single parent households. Maybe there's no father there present.
That's a fuck
because
that, James.
because
Fuck
the
that.
women do not allow the fathers to get involved in their children's lives and see their children out of spite.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of women do that. If they get divorced and they have kids, they to spite the old man who might have cheated on them, they go, "You can't see your kids." That's it. And so what they do is they badmouth the father to the children. Your father was no good. He was a bum. He was rotten. He rotten to the core. Rah, 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 rah. So they turn the kids against the man who's paying the child support, and that's I bet that's what happens. There's no role model.
So James, if you don't mind, how was your childhood?
Oh, my childhood.
If you
I
don't
was
if you don't mind.
my father my mother divorced my father when I was 5 years old. It was me and my sister Lisa. So she divorced when I was 5, and
In Lodi, New Jersey.
he, you know, he was very stingy with the child support, but uh, she didn't refuse
So
to have him.
where did your parents meet?
Well, they're both parents are from northern New Jersey,
Lodi.
and they she my mother had lived on an army base in Leominster, Massachusetts, Fort Devens, because my father was in the army, and that's where I was conceived.
Okay.
And what happened was he drove my mother nuts. He was not violent, but he was very controlling.
Was he a
And
veteran?
yeah, but he was very controlling. Like in other words, he wanted to confiscate my mother's salary and give her an allowance, and he didn't want her to communicate with her family.
So was his mind fucked up from any wars?
No, but he was fucked up.
Okay.
But he was fucked up. So anyway, so what happened was they divorced when I was 5, and but she didn't keep him from being involved with us. He's the one out of spite that stood away.
Mhm.
But my grandparents were raised me with my mother. My grandfather was the male role model, and they had a house.
Your grandparents on your mother's side.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, because my grandparents, my grandmother on my father's side was also nuts. He was like a mama's boy, you know.
Mhm.
Like she was very controlled. She was like everybody loves Raymond. She was like that. So she was bonkers too. And
Was he an Italian? Yeah,
yeah,
Madonna.
yeah,
So you took his last name, right?
yes,
Madonna, and your mother was Italian too.
yes.
Okay.
So I lived in Lodi in my grandparents' house, and you know, that's it. You know, but my grandparents was a good. They were good role models, and but they were tradition.
So did you go to church with your grandparents?
No, they didn't go to church.
They didn't go to church.
Yeah.
Not at all. They weren't Catholic.
No, maybe Easter Sunday they did, and
But so they were Catholic, but they weren't practicing.
no, they didn't bother. No, no. But my grandmother used to.
No interest at all, huh?
No, my grandmother was very good at at cooking. She put out a lot of food during the
Wow,
holidays.
that's interesting because I know that a lot of the older generations they went to church more. It's funny that you
Yeah,
said
but
it.
I'll tell you one thing. There's a lot of people that go to church consistently that are weird. I'm telling you, I rather have secular. I rather
I
be
know,
around.
I know that, but I'm saying I know the older generations, like your parents or your grandparents, they went to at least Sunday mass.
Yeah, they
They're-
you know they'll show off. They got all dressed up. The guys put a suit
yeah,
and tie on.
they do it. Yeah. So
You know what
you're
does that
saying
mean?
your grandparents didn't do that?
No, no. But what do they do? How? What fellowship do they really have? Peace be with you, and that's it. No, nobody hangs out. No, nobody.
The Knights of Columbus is a good organization.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. So they got that was a thing that they did, right? I joined the Knights of Columbus just recently.
That's a Catholic lodge.
It's a Catholic organization, a
Well,
secret
yeah, it's
society.
like a lodge, like the Elks Lodge.
The initiation ceremony is a secret initiation. They don't say what it is, but it's not a big deal, you know.
Well, the Masonics are very secret too.
Yeah, but the Masonics are anti-Catholic, right?
They,
Did you know
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
the Masonics are anti-Catholic?
yeah. That's true.
So yeah, I mean, my grandfather was a knight of Columbus, and I remember always after the parade for the
Ugh.
for St. Patrick's Day, everybody would go into the lodge, the Knights of Columbus Lodge, right, and have corned beef and cabbage, right?
Oh, that was nice of them.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was so nice, and I remember looking up to my grandfather like he's a Knight of Columbus. I want to do that one day, you know. And then he died too early because he had a car accident. So he died when I was like 16, you know, around there. And it was around like the time I was like a rebellious teenager. So I kind of like lost that strong man that I had in my life because
Uh-huh.
my dad wasn't around. My dad wasn't around at the time. And I kind of had to find out how to be a man, you know, like by myself. I did.
You had a you all your self esteem. What you were responsible for, um, how you are, pretty much.
Yes, but I am very much a product of my grandfather, who who I'm talking about, who he was a knight of Columbus,
Yeah.
who actually wasn't my blood grandfather, because the sad thing is that my actual grandfather on my mom's side, so who would be my mom's dad, he died about 10 years before I was born.
Oh wow.
And the reason why he died was because he drank himself to death.
So she got remarried, and that
Yeah.
was yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I look exactly like my actual grandfather.
Oh wow.
Like you can say I'm a twin of him.
So a young photo of him
Well,
was
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
was like you.
And my mom has all these old photos of him as a young man. My grandmother used to have, you know, a bunch of them.
Yeah,
And
my grandfather.
it's amazing. But, James, seriously, like, if he was here, like, he would look just like me. The exact same thing. Like, we're twins.
Yeah, my grandfather was a prize fighter, he was a professional boxer during the 1920s, and he had photos, you know, on the wall. And, Yeah, that was the days of I guess Gene, was it Gene Tunney and Jack Dempsey?
Yeah, when Vince McMahon's grandfather, right, was
Well,
running shit.
actually, Jesse McMahon
Jesse McMahon, yeah.
Jesse McMahon was is the grandfather, and
Vince McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
yeah, Vince McMahon Senior. Actually, Vince Junior didn't know who his father really
Yeah,
was
yeah.
until
We've gone over this before, right?
later in life. You know,
We've gone over this before. You can go over it again if you want.
I mean, it's interesting. It's I didn't know.
It is interesting. Yeah.
I had no idea that he was in that situation. He lived down south with his mother, and his mother was I hate to say it, but you know,
She was
he had a fling.
basically like a whore, right?
He had a fling with this woman, and Vince Jr. is the product of the fling. And
He didn't want anything to do with it. He wanted to go work at the World Wrestling
well,
Capital Wrestling Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
now first it was called Capital Wrestling Company.
That's what they called it for the TV channel in Washington D.C.
Capital Wrestling Company then became the Worldwide Wrestling Federation,
Yeah.
and then they cut the worldwide off.
Well,
They cut the wide off.
Vince Jr. cut the wide off.
Yeah, because it was Toots Mond,
Toots
Vince Senior, and another guy, some Jew. I think there were three people involved.
But the guy who showed Vince Jr., the guy who showed him around the ropes when he was a young guy, it was we talked about this. It was one of the Grahams.
Oh, there was Crazy Luke Graham. There was
It was one of the Crazy Grahams.
it was Eddie, not Eddie Graham. It was Crazy Luke and Dr. Jerry Graham.
It might have been him and
Dr. Jerry Graham.
and he showed Vince McMahon around, like, and he was doing all this crazy shit. He would drive around with him like while he was drinking, and he would bring him to like the brothels that he went to, and he was showing Vince McMahon like all this crazy shit, and so Vince McMahon equated all this crazy lifestyle with pro wrestling, and that's
Yeah.
why when he went to make wrestling like his own thing, he put them all together, like craziness with
Well,
with wrestling.
well,
That's why Vince McMahon became a genius.
Vince McMahon Senior, his father used to hang out with Johnny Valentine, which was Greg Valentine's father. Johnny Valentine was a famous wrestler, and they used to hang out and drive around, and you know, they all had their own buddies, and
The Dr. Jerry Graham, that's what it was. That what his name was?
yeah, there was Dr. Jerry Graham and Crazy Luke.
Which one was the one that took Vince McMahon under his wing?
I think it might have been Dr. Jerry Graham. Might have been Dr. Jerry Graham. I know that Vince Senior favored Buddy Rogers, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
James, I'm going to take a moment. Please continue, okay?
All right. Well, I don't want to go too late tonight.
Well,
you know?
I'll be right. I'll be right back. Give me
Okay.
a couple of minutes.
All right. Let me see if anybody. Nope, nobody else is getting tired. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna go change my location, folks. I'm gonna change my location. Excuse me. Oh, we're still here with progressive discussions, shooting the shit. Shooting the shit. Yeah. Uh, damn. Be right with you. I'm just changing my location. Oh, this was really a sperm at a moment decision to go live stream because I wasn't planning on it. And Ronnie Simpson said to me, let's go live. He wanted to do a show. And I told him, well, I'm not going to boot up the desktop. I'm going to do it on my phone. What the fuck is going on here? I mean, it's a lot different doing it on the phone. Let me see what's going on here.
So what did I miss? Is it just me? Hmm. 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 I said I would be right back.
They were fucking phone.
I thought you left.
No, I don't know why Restream I didn't close it out. I just was navigating somewhere else. Restream just disconnected it, which is stupid. They only do that on the phone, you know. Pisses me off. Like the phone's got to be so different than the desktop. No, no more commentary. I guess it's it. It's just me and you.
That's it for the commentary.
Yeah. Well, Bart had to go to sleep. I don't know why he's got to go to sleep now. Said he's got a long day tomorrow, but you know,
He's got to shovel his ass out.
he's. I mean, you know, it was about what was it, 9 p.m. That Bart says goodbye.
Nobody fucking cares, James. That's what I'm saying. Like, most people are not really like, they don't act like you and me, you know?
They're not proactive.
They're not real people. Like, I think Bart is just like an AI thing, maybe.
They're like they're humanoids. They're
Yeah. So humanoid is like the newest thing or AI is the newest thing of a humanoid. Right?
well, they showed
These people
how
are not real. So Bart Robinson comes on here every fucking week, but he's not a real person.
he must be.
He isn't. He's probably a humanoid, right? I'm not gonna call him an AI.
No, they don't. Well, they don't. There's one thing they all have in common. Tommy Carroll, all of them. They come on, they type, they text, but they never come on with audio or video ever.
Why?
And I know
Why is that?
I know other people like that too. I know this guy. He's got
Now your cousin comes on, right?
yeah. She'll come on. She don't because she don't give a shit. She'll come on. She'll come
That's
on.
good.
She'll
That's
she'll
good.
light she'll light a joint. She don't care.
Send her the link. Send her the link now.
Yeah. Let me see if she's around.
What is she doing on a Sunday night? She can hang out, right? Come on.
She could probably hang out.
If she sees the link that you sent her during a snowstorm, why wouldn't she join? Right? James.
So
Did you send it?
yeah, I sent it. I'm not even gonna bother sending it to people like Eric because he doesn't
Fuck
say
Eric, man.
no, he doesn't say James, I'm sorry, I wasn't home.
Eric is a bitch. He's a bitch.
He doesn't like say I'm sorry I couldn't come on the show, guys.
He has no respect for you or your time or anything.
Yeah, he's in his own world.
He only wants to talk to Drunken One and these fucking drunk pieces of shit.
Right. And now that he's got a girlfriend, he has no time for
Anybody who's not drunk as a skunk. He can't be.
he doesn't realize that if he's dating if he starts dating a girl and he tries to crawl up her ass, a woman will lose respect for a man that has no life. If he doesn't have his own life, and he,
his own life is to be a drunk weirdo.
that's it. That's it.
And maybe she'll accept that. You know what she'll do with that? She'll turn it around and make her be the boss.
Yeah, like a John and Lily.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because he had to pick the kid up, take him here, take him there. He had to like.
But you know what I say? That's better than being a completely drunk schlep. Because that's what John and Ellie would have been. A big fat drunk complete loser.
Yeah, but I think what I think the glue that holds Eric Fraunfelter together is the fact that he is part of a heavy metal band who's selling CDs and they get a lot of gigs, and he's the drummer, and that's the only thing.
If she doesn't like that, it won't last.
Well, he doesn't get groupies.
But I'm saying if this woman who is going to waste her time on him doesn't like that band,
that scene, yeah,
it's not going to last.
Well, from what I understand, she's got a college education. She's got a good job, this girl.
Then why would she bother with Eric?
She has a degree, and
why would she bother with him?
Eric has a degree in craft beer, I think.
Does he?
I don't know. I just made it up. I mean, he.
James, these dorks today. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
It's not like it used to be, right? You just go to the club and you pick up girls. Now you gotta fucking go online, right?
Oh, it's horrible. I hear horror stories about like dating apps. Oh, the girls have like a long, because of the feminists, they got a long list of demands. Oh,
Well,
he better be this,
you do it, right?
huh?
You do it, right? You do the
A long
dating.
list of demand. No, I don't have a long list of
No,
demands.
but I'm asking you. Do you do the dating shit online, right?
Oh, I haven't messed with that in a while.
What do you mean? So where do you pick up your girls?
People,
People?
I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chuck Schumer, he's
Chuck
been
Schumer. What the
he's
fuck?
been getting really pissed off because he's every time he talks on Instagram, he's fuck this, fuck that, fuck Trump.
Chuck,
Trump.
why? What happened to his decorum?
No,
Chuck Schumer
he-
used to be a very respectable man.
yeah, but he's so pissed off at Trump. He's been shooting out fuck
You
bombs.
think he's getting too old?
No, he really is that pissed at Trump. Hold on, let me get my glasses down here.
Hey, you can't do that though, man. Like this is a respectable. You're
Well,
a senator of the United States. You can't be cursing, man. Trump doesn't curse, does he?
no, he just gets under
So
everybody's skin
why is it okay if fucking Chucky Schumer is cursing?
because he's from New York. That's why.
Because he's a fucking old piece of shit Jew with his glasses down his ass.
No, hold on. My glasses have to be a little lower. There you go.
I tell you, I only respect Chuck Schumer. I do, because
No, I do respect him, but
he spoke at my high school fucking graduation.
oh my god.
He spoke at my community college graduation.
Right.
And he spoke at my actual bachelor's degree college graduation. I had to fucking hear this guy 3 times.
And he took the time to show
3
up.
fucking times for Chuck Schumer. Everybody on Long Island loves Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, but he's a senator and he took the time to do this.
Whether they're a Democrat or a Republican, at least when I was there on Long Island, everybody loves Chucky Schumer. Everybody fucking loves the old.
Because
He's the old man. He's very nice.
but he gives a shit, you know.
He's got the fucking glasses on his fucking ass, right? Herman Munster.
Yeah. No, not Herman, my grandpa Munson. Al Lewis. Grandpa Al Lewis.
But you know what, James? He's getting a little too old. He's getting
Yeah.
right. His time is passing. And it seems like AOC wants him out. Is that true?
I have no idea. I don't know. I listen to her and I just listen to her and I stare at her dimples and you know
what? So
I get aroused.
I give Chuck Schumer a lot of fucking credit. I like Chuck. I like him. I like him. I like him because I'm from New York, right? I'm from New York.
Right.
If I wasn't from New York, I probably would not like him. Okay.
Yeah.
He's full of fucking shit. I mean, the stuff that he says now is just garbage. It's garbage. It really is. The stuff that he says now compared to the stuff that he said back in 2005.
Getting old.
It's not the same stuff.
He's getting old. There was a guy. There was a guy who was United States Senator from New York that got reelected so many times. He was
Probably the guy before Schumer,
Al,
Alphonse, right? Alphonse.
Alphonse. Would you listen? Alphonse
Yeah,
D'Amato.
I know who you're talking about. D'Amato. He's the senator that was there before Schumer.
Right, but he was
before
old
Schumer.
school. He was old school Republican. He wasn't extremist.
He was a Republican. That's right. Yeah.
He was Republican, but he wasn't extremist like they
So
are now.
Schumer took over for him.
Uh,
Yeah, he did.
yeah. Schumer took over for him.
1998.
And don't forget, Hillary Clinton used to be a senator
I know. I
from New
remember.
York.
I remember that. And she never even lived in New York. Her being a senator from New York was controversial
Well, she lived in.
because they didn't even live there.
Well, they technically they lived in.
It was
They
bullshit.
lived
It
in.
was garbage. They said that they
they-
had a house in fucking Harlem. It was bullshit.
No. They either it was either Westchester County or
No,
Greenwich, Connecticut.
they said Harlem.
That was the law. That was the law firm that her husband that
her
Bill
husband
Clinton,
Bill.
That was he purposely set up the law firm in Harlem. In Harlem. He did that purposely.
Why did he purposely set it up in Harlem? Why?
To kiss up to
The fuck out of here, man. Come on.
So the blacks would
Get the
vote for
fuck
Hillary.
out of here.
So the blacks would vote for Hillary.
Fucking Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was not from New York.
No.
Come on, man.
Listen. Hillary Rodham is from Chicago.
You remember back in the day, James.
Hillary is from.
You are old enough to remember.
Hillary is from Illinois. She's from a suburb of Chicago. She's from Illinois. And Bill's from Little Rock, Arkansas. And Hillary was a lawyer back then, but she's Illinois. She has nothing to do with New York. And then after Bill Clinton couldn't get reelected anymore, where is he? He has to urinate again. He's cutting me off a little too much. But I'm going to end the stream. It was nice. All right, I'll be nice. I'll wait for him. He kept saying Hillary's not from New York. And I'm trying to tell him where she's from, and he just kept saying the same thing. There it is.
All right, I'm back.
All right, Hillary is from Hillary
Rodham.
Rodham is her maiden name. She's from Illinois.
What kind of fucking name is Rodham?
Rodham. She's from a sub.
What nationality is that?
Hey, Ufa. She's from
a wasp nationality.
Yeah, she's a lily white honky
white shitty bitch.
No, she's from she is from she's Midwestern. She's a suburb of Chicago, Illinois, and Bill Clinton's from Little Rock, Arkansas, and then they decided.
Now, why did they call Bill Clinton the first black president? Why did they say that?
I have no idea. So
what made him a black president? He wasn't black.
I don't know. So what happened was when Richard Nixon, Tricky Dick, when he resigned, him and his wife bought a mansion in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey. Now he's from Whittier, California. Richard Nixon,
when he was president, he had his winter house in the west, in the
Key Biscayne.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Key Biscayne, Florida.
Yeah.
Key Biscayne is
back in those days was beautiful.
Key Biscayne is the first I believe, the first of the Florida
Of the
Keys
Keys. I think you're right. I think you're,
from mainland Florida.
yeah, that's where he had
Okay.
his winter residence, right? I believe.
Yeah. There's I think there's a Homestead, Florida, in the
Yeah.
very end,
Okay.
but it's agricultural and it's
Well, well,
poor.
well, well, back in those days, it was a beautiful,
Yeah.
undeveloped area. It's
Yeah, but
developed.
now there's a crime rate down yonder in the South Florida. There's a
Yeah,
crime rate.
there is. Yeah,
So he used to go to
of the darker persuasion, of course.
yes, I'm gonna play we're moving on up to the east side with my kazoo. Now he went to Key Biscayne.
Play it.
He went to Key Biscayne and then he also went to San Clemente, California, which is an
Yeah, he was
island
actually from California, right?
from
Originally,
Whittier, California. He was from a poor family
you know a lot
and
about Richmond.
to that deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up. We're gonna have a piece of the pie. Fish don't fry in the
You're not getting
kitchen.
any of the pie. You're not getting any of the
Bird
pie.
beans don't burn on the grill. It
No,
takes a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill.
forget it. Forget it.
Oh, anyway,
Get
so what
the
happened
get
was
the fuck out of here.
Key Biscayne and San Clemente.
The pie is mine. It's mine.
And what else do I gotta
You
say?
get none of the pie. None because I'm white. You get zero pie.
I will listen. I will say this, even though it's going to sound very controversial, but I will say it because it's true. The lily white, honky, Caucasian, heterosexual, straight male is the most discriminated against humanoid creature on God's green earth. All right, you hear that, people? To the deluxe apartment. Oh, Sanford and Son. Anyway, the most discriminated against humanoid. That's it. It's. I know it sounds a little rough around the edges,
Sounds rough around the edge.
but it's true
What sounds true?
that the most discriminated against humanoid creature is the Caucasian heterosexual male.
Say it again.
The Caucasian heterosexual male, the straight.
So
Honky.
what is a cisgender?
You want me to ask the AI?
Why do they say that now?
What is cisgender?
When did this language begin? Actually,
Why?
ask your AI.
Why do we?
When did it become normal to say cisgender?
Why do we need so many genders? Why do we need so many genders? It's like Andrew Dice Clay used to say, it's either hair pie or balls across the nose. You look, you're born, you got a pair of testicles and a penis, you're a male. You have a vagina, you're a female. It doesn't matter if the embryo starts off one way and becomes something else. What counts is how you born. What is your gender at birth?
They don't want to believe that.
And you know what the applications
They
say?
don't want to believe that. They want to believe that you can take what you have when you're born and you can change it. You can change it into something else. Well, that's obviously not true.
Yeah, it could be psychological.
Psychological fucked upness.
Yeah, fucked upness.
James,
No,
what are we gonna do with these people?
I don't know. We're gonna. Do you know? Getting back to the robots, I posted a video showing just how quickly advanced they're getting. They said that without a doubt, if things continue with the dating and relationship between men and women, if they continue to get worse, men are just going to buy really hot looking freaking android
Yeah, but
robots.
is that what you want? Is that what you want to happen?
What I want? No,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
good.
asking what do you
No,
want
it's
as
a
a
good
man?
way. It's a good way to get off.
Is it really,
It's a sex toy.
James?
Yeah, but what choice do you have?
You have lots of choices.
What are
No,
you
no,
gonna do?
no, no, no. You don't. You have one
You gotta
choice.
jerk off?
You have one choice. The only
You
one choice is
can't
to
jerk off forever.
it is no, not to jerk off. You don't jerk off. Actually,
Uh,
jerking off is not good.
yeah, but they do it. The primates do it. Monkeys, the
The,
chimpanzees.
but we are humans, and
Yeah, but what if you got a friggin' boner that won't go away? What are you gonna do?
it has to go away. That's why you have women.
Ask Gabriel Saliva that question.
And Gabriel Saliva probably can't get a woman, right? Is that? I guess that's his problem.
I mean, the morning wood can be like a piece of steel, you know. But
That's
but you're different. You're married.
that's part of our cross, right?
Oh God! Yeah. All right. Speaking of cross, the poor Catholic priests. They they
Sure.
they they're not allowed to date. They're not
You
allowed
think they
to.
don't wake up with a morning wood?
I'm sure they do.
They're not all gay. Everybody says they're gay. It's
No,
not
I'm
true.
sure they. I'm
No,
sure
it's
they
not
do
true.
wake up. I'm sure they do wake up with morning wood.
They do. And then there's a lot of promiscuous women who come into the mass with revealing clothing, right? And what are the fathers supposed to do about that? They
What
still
if?
they
What
still
if
give
a?
them they still give them communion.
What if a hot look? I saw a hot looking Spanish girl
They do it all
want
the
to.
time. They do it all the
I
time.
saw a hot looking Spanish girl want to have a private conversation with Father Jose.
Uh,
What the heck? How is?
hot, a hot looking Spanish girl.
Yeah, and she was, and believe me, she was. What is poor Father Jose? How does he
What's he
cope with
supposed to
that? How
do?
does,
He
you know?
knows that.
I mean,
He has his training.
listen, I'm sure they have groupies because there were girls, there were Catholic girls that were flocking over to the priest during the catechesis, and they wanted to have conversations with the priests. And listen, the poor guys. They, I'm sure they partake.
It's always the women. It's always the fucking women, right?
They were Delilahs.
Whether they're old or young, they always wanna be the attention.
Yeah, they always show their big breasts
No,
and their
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like in any kind of thing that happens,
yeah.
they always any event they want to be they want to go see the priest or they want to talk to the deacon.
The Dickin? Yeah, the Deacon.
It's always the women. Like, you don't see the men doing it.
No,
The
no,
men
no.
are
It's
more
always the women.
the men are more subdued.
Do you think these women are Delilahs?
They're Jezebels.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
You know who
Delilah.
Jezebel is?
A Jezebel. I don't know. I don't remember the story of Jezebel.
What is the story you're saying? What's Delilah?
Well, Delilah is the one that seduced Samson
Ah,
and cut Samson. She suckered Samson into telling her what the secret of his strength was, where his strength came from, and like a fool, because he was in lust with her, and or love or lust or whatever, he told her that his secret was in his hair, his long hair. God told him never to cut his hair, so he he revealed to her, and then when he was sleeping, she betrayed him and cut all his hair off. That's in the
because
old
his hair was holy.
God. Well, God told him, "Do not ever cut your hair."
Yeah,
And
he said that to David too, right?
well, no, David didn't have. long hair, but
Right.
David screwed up. David screwed up.
I
He
think
did.
David had the hair too, though. He had the
No,
hair.
David had Bathsheba's husband murdered,
Bathsheba,
killed
yes, exactly. You
because
know,
he lusted after her.
you do know. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, he lusted after her, and he
So
had
you, so
her
you,
husband.
you learned this, James. When did you learn this? In Sunday school? Because
Honestly, I don't remember.
you have some knowledge. You do. You
I
do.
don't. I don't. Here and there, I do. Yeah. And also, you see the similarity in God telling Samson to never cut your hair and never reveal the secret of your strength. You see the similarity to that and eating from the tree of knowledge, the tree of good and evil, like Adam and Eve, like
Well,
told.
that was part of the readings this week, right? Yesterday, you were there, right?
Well, no, that was during the catechesis. That wasn't recently, but
No, no, it was part of the mass. It
it
was
was
part of
part. Yeah, the God told Adam.
that reading that you just said. It was part of Romans.
I thought that was Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis.
Genesis. So God told Adam, "Do not whatever you do.
Right.
I will provide everything for you, but whatever you do, do not eat from the fruit from that
He
tree."
didn't say it like that. He didn't say it like that. He provided everything, right? But yeah, but then everybody knows the story. Eve spoke to the devil. Eve gave the fruit to her husband, who, if you notice at the time, her husband didn't say no to her. He just took it like nothing.
Yeah, because he was suckered in by Eve.
But he
Yeah.
didn't even question it at all.
Well, it was up to him to say
He
no to
didn't
Eve.
he didn't even say anything.
He didn't say anything, but
He didn't say
you notice how the demon went to Eve
Yeah.
to convince Eve,
Yeah.
because if the demon went to Adam, Adam would have says,
But why was Adam so weak that he didn't even question her? He didn't even question what she was doing.
"You're right."
He just took it. And so you know who the new Eve is, right? You know the whole story. The new Eve is Mary. The new Adam is Jesus. That's the story.
You mean modern day descendants?
No, not modern day, but
Well, at that
2,000
time,
years
at
ago.
that time,
2,000 years ago.
yeah, at that time, it's modern.
Mary is the new Eve, and Jesus is the new Adam.
Yeah. Now, I will say this: I do not believe that Joseph was celibate. I do not believe Joseph lived a life of celibacy. I can believe Mary. I can believe Mary did, but I do not believe that Joseph, because men back then had concubines. They had women on the side all the time. But I don't believe a man can be, whether he's single or married, can be celibate, because we're just too horny.
Joseph, the father of the foster father of Jesus.
Foster father, yes. He was married to
He was a very holy man. He's a saint.
he was married to Mary, but I could believe Mary.
He's a saint. He's a saint. Saint Joseph.
Yeah, but I don't believe these people were celibate. It's not realistic.
He's a saint.
I mean, you could believe they were celibate, but I don't.
If that's what the church says, that's what I believe.
That's what. Well, all right. Well, I think it's cruel that they expect priests to be celibate, but that might change.
How else are you going to have a priesthood?
Well, you have the priests able to date and get married like ministers do.
They're married to the church. Can't be married to anybody else.
Yeah, but they're human. my friend. They're human men. They're
It's their,
men. They're
it's
men.
their vocation.
They're men. Men were supposed to have the urge of the urge to
That's why it's a holy calling. It's holy, James.
like the strong, powerful urge, the reproductive system. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're
you know
saying,
exactly what I'm saying.
but it's a big cross to bear. Let's put it that
It
way.
is. It is. Sure. Sure.
No, it's a huge cross to bear because I'm telling you that Mr. Happy is always awake, especially if a hot looking parishioner
Like
wants to
one of those hot Spanish ladies.
confess or something. Oh, can you imagine one of them confessing to him?
They're trained for that. They're trained for that.
Oh,
They know what's going on.
they.
It's not like shit, you know, like we're thinking about. They get trained for this stuff.
I wonder if they watch TV like we do, or
Let,
if
let,
they just.
let me ask you a question. Just
Yeah.
between me and you, a question.
Yes.
I know that there's all these problems with the Catholic Church and these accusations of priests being pedophiles, right?
But it's only I think it's only a small percentage of them.
I think so too.
I think so. And
I
the non-Catholics
I also think so.
and the non-Catholics love to jump all over that.
Yeah, they do.
They love it. The Protestants love to jump all over that.
Let me ask you, like, so I can tell you from my experience as a lifelong Catholic.
Right.
I was baptized as a baby, and I grew up as a Catholic. So
Okay.
I grew up as a Catholic. I never experienced any kind of, you know, priest doing anything weird, nothing like that through my whole life. And it's just like every time, you know, that I went to mass or I was doing something with the church, I always felt good about it. I always
You felt secure. You felt secure. You felt safe. You felt comfortable.
not even just safe. I always felt spiritually enlivened, right?
Good.
I always felt like every time that, and I was never like always into church like I am now, but I was always a lifelong Catholic.
You know, you just
and
made me.
and
Yeah.
I would go to church, and I would sometimes I would go, sometimes I wouldn't go, but I was always Catholic. Always, I would never go to like a Baptist church or some bullshit like that. I was always Catholic, right?
You made me. You gave me an idea. Maybe the bad rap is responsible for the lack of the much lower turnout at the churches.
The bad rap about
The bad rap that is in the media from the from the all the Protestant denominations.
Well, something else about that is that I've never spoken to anybody else who has told me that they have had bad experiences with a priest, that they have been molested or whatever. Nothing, you know. Anybody in
Yeah.
in my generation, which is like growing up in say like the 90s, the early 2000s, around that time in that church period,
Right.
which I think was a very good period for the church.
Well,
We,
you had some real cool popes like John. What was it?
but
John Paul.
it wasn't just that, but I think in our local area on Long Island, maybe, or at least just where I went to church. It was beautiful, man. It was so nice. I mean, I loved being Catholic. I went to Catholic school, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. For ninth grade, my mom couldn't afford it, so I didn't do it. But I think if I did go to Catholic school for high school instead of public school, I think I would be a different person today, because I hated public school. I couldn't stand it. You know.
Well, it was full of riffraff.
Yeah, it was. It was full of a lot of riffraff,
There was fuck ups and riffraff when I was in high school.
and they accepted they were accepted that they were okay, and
Yeah.
it was just 1 year before that where I was taught that that wasn't accepted. You know, so it was like, what do I listen to? Who's in charge here? And it was I couldn't take the local high schools. I couldn't take them seriously.
Well, I found out as the years went by that my history books were totally full of shit. There was it was a waste of taxpayers' money, and
Well,
the
you're
education.
gonna talk about the stolen land, and that's not what I'm talking about.
No, it's just a lot of crap. It's like they left a lot of information out.
But that's okay. Sometimes for Catholic education, it's good to leave stuff out.
Why?
It is better to put more stuff in.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be about education. You're supposed to educate.
It is, but that's what they're doing.
They did steal from the Native American people. They
Yeah,
did.
but we don't have to make it such a big deal. We don't have to make it
By force, by force. You know.
It doesn't. Have
Anyway,
to,
listen, I'm gonna cut it short. I gotta take my vitamins and have some a snack and maybe watch some TV. You know, but we did good. We had. Let me see. How long were we on for? It was decent. We covered a lot of subject. Oh, almost 2 hours. All right, almost 2 hours, and we got listeners, and it was good. We covered a lot of bases for the Sperm in a Moment show, and oh, and the now I just want to say that I think St. Patrick. I don't think there were. I don't think Ireland was infested with snakes. I think it was like it wasn't literal. It was a figure of like. In other words, it might have represented paganism. The snakes might have represented.
problem with your thinking, Brother James,
Yeah.
is that you have so many questions. So you want to know this, you want to know that. And you don't think about what you actually are supposed to be taking into your mind, whether it's literal or symbolic. It's not about the snakes or whatever you're talking about. If things are literal or symbolic, it's what the message that's going into your mind is. That's what it is. Okay?
Well, the message is that there was.
But all you're concerned about is if this is this historical thing about snakes, or if there was a flood, or that's all you care about, right? Because that's
Well,
the modern age that we live in.
well, the flood, the great flood during
The
Noah's time.
modern thinking that we live in.
In Noah's time, God was had stated in Genesis before the flood that he regrets creating mankind because there were.
And he also said that we live in a far worse state of sin than they lived in during Noah's time. We live
I believe it.
in a far worse state of sin
Well, look at
than during Noah.
well, all you got to do is read two Timothy, and that tells you how people will behave in the end times, and they already are behaving that way. They already are. I posted to Timothy um, already. Yeah, I posted it. I posted it in more than one area. Yeah, 2 Timothy literally explains how people will behave, and God, the great flood was to cleanse the world of not only sinners but the watchers, the monstrous evil creatures that were the result of demons mating with mortal human women. And these evil giants were born. They called them the Watchers. And
I'm not
it's
sure about that one. I haven't heard that much about
the book
that.
of Enoch, Enoch of the Old Testament
Hold on,
had mentioned
I'm
it.
gonna check with Paul.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see what he has to say about that.
book of Enoch, yes.
Paul might have some.
Well, if I find a good documentary video, I'll post it on
Well, just send it to me. Send it to
I'll
me.
send it to you.
Direct.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, I already posted a good video about the names of all 7 arch demons and their specialty, their jobs, and their names. See, once you have the name of the demon, it takes a lot of power away from them. But like, I give you an example. The demon of greed is Mammon. Mammon. He's the demon of greed. That's just one example. There's one. It's specialty is lust. There's they all have their own. And you know what? Archangels have special jobs too. Raphael is the angel of healing and to protect travelers. Michael is the protector. He's like he's like a 4-star general in God's army. He's the defender. And then there's Gabriel is the divine messenger. They all have different specialties. But anyway, I'll see you off the air. Take care. Thank you. Thank you.